Ho ho ho! I'm Jay Cosmic. Ho ho ho! And welcome to my video. Today I will be doing a Marvel Legends unboxing and toy review. Christmas, or I guess holiday edition. Are you feeling festive? Because I'm not. Going shopping a week before Christmas is literal hell. What isn't hell, though, is unboxing some Marvel Legends. What I will be unboxing today is as followed. Mark 27 Iron Man, Warbow, Werewolf by Night, Enchantress, Dark Avengers Spider-Man, Phantom Rider, and last but certainly least, World War II Wolverine. If you have watched my unboxing videos, welcome back, and if you have not been here before, how this works is I will unbox a Marvel Legend, share my thoughts on each figurine, and give it a final score. And at the end of the video, I will share my favorite and least favorite of the week. Now, these figurines are all from one set, that being the Executioner Build-A-Figure wave. I do wish that this was more Asgard themed. We do have Enchantress at least to go with Executioner, but there are so many Asgardian characters who do not have a figurine or are reduced to a limited edition box set. However, there are a few characters in here who I'm really happy to see get a release, and others where it's like, really, did we need this? Wolverine! With that said, let's do some unboxing, starting with Iron Man Mark 72. So this Iron Man came out during the fall of the Krakoa era, as it turns out, which explains why I'm not too familiar with this. I didn't really read the Iron Man book beyond him getting married to Emma Frost, who honestly could do better. But, I mean, say what you will. The armor looks pretty cool. It looks similar to his ultimate costume. So this Iron Man figurine comes with alternate gauntlets, two blast signatures, and alternate hands for the blast signatures, and the fists are on his body. And he comes with Executioner's head, as well as Executioner's axe. So I guess we'll pop the axe out because it's already here, as well as Executioner's head. I feel like I've gotten quicker at unboxing the more I do these videos, but here is Mark 72 Iron Man. Yes, I had to look at the box to make sure I was given the right number. Now to the accessories. Here are the spare gauntlets popped out. Now, my final thoughts on Mark 72 Iron Man. Solid paint job, great sculpt. However, the movement is a little limited, which does reduce his score a little bit. But all in all, not a bad figurine. I am going to give him a 3 out of 5. So this is an editor's note between the unboxing of Iron Man and Dark Avengers Spider-Man. My camera decided to stop recording, so all that unboxing is lost. However, I'm still going to give a review of each figurine because that is the intent of this video, so apologies for that being cropped out. Unfortunately, life happens, but it is what it is. Work with what you got. We are going to speed round the next 3 figurines because I accidentally erased my unboxing footage because I am silly. Starting with Warbow. My final thoughts on Warbow upon unboxing him. I do love the sculpt. I can't really comment on the paint job too much just because the plastic is already green. I'm normally not a fan of transparent figurines, however, it works in this case because of the shapes. It hides a lot of what you would see on other transparent figurines, looking at Secret Wars Iceman. All in all, I'm going to give Warbow a 4 out of 5. Next up, Werewolf by Night. My final thoughts on this figurine. Great paint job, great movement. I love that he has the extra jointed elbows and knees. I do wish he came with an alternate head, but for him to get fists, it would seem pointless, so I don't really deduct that from his score. All in all, I give Werewolf by Night 3.5 out of 5. There's room for improvement, but it's not a bad figure by any means and is great for any Supernatural collection. And finally, my final thoughts on Enchantress. I love the paint job on this figurine. I love the updated voluminous hair. Love that she comes with a power signature. I already binned her fists for storage because she does not need them. She is magical. She needs her magic hands. All in all, this is a solid figurine with a great paint job, great sculpt, great movement. The only thing that is preventing her from a perfect score is her shoes, which I hate saying because it is a part of her costume and a part of the character. However, she is difficult to display because she cannot stand properly without leaning on someone or needing assistance in some sort of way. So, Enchantress, she gets a final score of 4 out of 5. And that is the speed round. Back to the regular scheduled unboxing and review. Now, my thoughts on Dark Avengers Spider-Man. He's a solid figurine with a great paint job, great movement. I love that we have movement in the ankles, double jointed elbows and knees, turning at the legs. There's no movement in the waist, but the upper torso turns at least, so that kind of makes up for it a little bit, as well as great movement in the head. There isn't the best movement in the shoulders because the arms kind of get in the way of each other, but anatomy, that's how it be. I do wish there were more alternate hands to go with this figurine, but I really don't see all that many negatives aside from that. I'm going to give Dark Avengers Spider-Man a 4 out of 5. The next character I'm going to unbox will be Phantom Rider. Now, he's somebody I haven't read a lot of, so let's pop him out of the packaging. So Phantom Rider does come with alternate hands, 2 pistols, and Executioner's left leg. Let's pop them out. I always find characters with capes difficult to remove from the packaging, especially if they have the solid plastic capes. This one actually wasn't too bad. So here is Phantom Rider. Let's pop out his accessories. Starting with 2 fists, which will go in the bin because he has accessories to grip, so no need for the fists. And an open hand. His pistols, which he will gladly wield because they're essential to him. And Executioner's left leg. Now, my final thoughts on Phantom Rider. He is easily the best figurine in this set. Solid paint job, great movement. The cape doesn't get in the way of his arms moving. He has double jointed shoulders, the double pin elbows and knees, movement in the ankle area as well as the upper leg, and of course his head and the wrists. All in all, I'm giving Phantom Rider a 5 out of 5. He is probably pick of the week. Now finally, last and certainly least, at least for unboxing, we are going to open World War II Wolverine, which, who asked for this? Why did we get this? Honestly, this is probably going to make my worst figurines of 2025 this year. Granted, I am saying this before unboxing. I just feel like there's other Wolverine looks we could have had before we got this one. So let's slide them out. Now, World War II Wolverine comes with alternate hands, including a fist, because of course, clawed hands, a satchel, a knife, a rifle, and an alternate head with some emo-looking hair. Which, of course, Wolverine gets all these accessories. Let's pop them out of the packaging. So here is World War II Wolverine. Thankfully, he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. However, I do unfortunately have a spot for him on my shelves. Honestly, he's somebody I would have skipped if I wasn't a little bit of a completionist. Let's pop out his emo head. His life is spiraling downward. The fist for the bin. His clawed hands, which I will probably pop on, which I will say the claws on these are pretty solid. I don't have to worry about them snapping off. His knife. His rifle, and his satchel. My final thoughts on this figurine, it's actually not a bad figurine itself. Like, the movement is fine. The paint job is alright, pretty standard for a soldier figurine. My hatred of this is just because my hatred of this figurine is just because why do we need this? Unless you're a Wolverine fan or a completionist like myself, there is no reason to own this Wolverine. Like I said, he's not bad. I'm going to keep the helmet head on just because the head without the helmet looks a bit silly. I was a young boy. My father took me into the city to see a marching band. World War II Wolverine, I'm giving a 2 out of 5. Comment below what Wolverine you would like to see shoehorned into another set. Now, the last figurine I am going to review will be Executioner, the Build-A-Figure figurine. The figurine itself, this is everything I wanted from an Executioner figurine. Great movement, just solid overall, great paint job, decent amount of accessories. He comes with alternate hands. I would say if this wasn't a Build-A-Figure, he would come with an alternate head that is like screaming or letting out a battle cry, but I don't see too many Build-A-Figures getting a second head, so I'm not going to fault that. Now, looking at the figurine, unfortunately the paint doesn't go all the way down for the beard, but that's very minor. There aren't double joints in the elbows, but again, he's a big, thick, chonky boy, and the figurine does what it does what it needs to with the posing. I am going to give Executioner a 4.5 out of 5. It's not perfect, but I don't have any negatives either. It's solid overall. It's everything we need. I would recommend getting this set if you want to build Executioner, and everything is staying in place. There have been Build-A-Figures I built in the past where unfortunately the legs don't stay on or the arm doesn't stay on properly. Everything is staying on. He is essential for any Asgard display, and I hope we get more Asgardian figurines. Now, my top figurine from this set will be Phantom Rider. Honestly, 5 out of 5, solid, no negatives, no notes. Just an overall great figurine. And my least favorite of this set is, unsurprisingly, World War II Wolverine. We don't need this. Why do we have this? Just, you pop off the head, you can put anybody on there. I feel like this is just good filler for if you want a soldier figurine. There's better Wolverine costumes that could have been done. We could have had his noseless 90s one. We could have had the Morrison era. We could have had the period where he was depowered but had that cool suit at least. I will honestly take melted blob adamantium Wolverine over this, but I bought it. I got no one to blame but me. Do not recommend. Flop of the week. Now, comment below what your favorites and least favorites were from this set, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe as well, as it helps the channel. Another place that helps the channel is Patreon, which can be linked in my bio. And speaking of Patreon, I want to give a shout out to everyone who has signed up in the Cosmic Defender and the Liftoff tier. Your support is greatly appreciated, and all support from the Patreon goes directly to cosplay and making additional content. So thanks again. It is very much appreciated. And I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, a Crazy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. If I'm missing any holiday in between, apologies. Your support is very much appreciated, and thank you again for watching.